Hello and welcome to Productive and Counterproductive Behaviors in the Workplace. I first want to discuss how the recent historical events have changed the course of organizational psychology. One event that is pretty recent is the worldwide COVID-19 crisis of 2020. That event changed the whole world. It changed the way we work, changed the way we socialized. It changed the way we interact with one another. Um, Many workers were affected. Doctors and nurses were overworked, couldn't see their families, were isolated for a while. Our loved ones were isolated. We couldn't go visit our sick relatives. The workplace changed a great deal. Employees that could work from home were forced to work from home. Um, Employers had to get technology ready so that the employees that were working from home were able to do so in an efficient manner. This crisis had a huge toll on a person's mental health and well-being. And organizational psychologists had to work with employers to help them to deal with this huge change. This resulted in a lot of workplaces looking at mental health in a different way and offering employees benefits that would help them cope through this crisis. Organizational psychologists perform research after the crisis or maybe even during the crisis to see how employees and employers were coping. Not only changing their work, the way they did their work, but also personal lives. Kids no longer able to go to school for a while physically. They had to learn at home, which was a big adjustment for parents. Also, trying to deal with sick relatives that were sick from this COVID-19 disease and people not knowing how will they contract it, and seeing loved ones die and not being able to be with them in person. That had a great effect on people. So the field of organizational psychologists, they had to adjust to something and come up with ways to help employers and the organization get back on its feet and be able to move forward and change the way we work going forward in a lot of ways. And also with employees coming back to work, that was a big change. That was another issue that employers had to learn how to address so to keep their employees motivated. Socialization is a process of acclimating individuals to a new environment. The process is two-way. The organization makes provisions to introduce the individual to the new environment, and after the individual is introduced and is there for a while, they try to find ways to further fit into their new environment. Socialization of students in the psychology graduate program at Liberty University involves first providing a detailed description of the Liberty University online program. This is usually done via the Liberty University website. Any interested students has the opportunity to go on the website to find out more about the program. After a student is interested and makes a decision to attend and is accepted, Liberty begins socialization further by sending the student a welcome letter in the mail and an email. This welcome information provides the next registration dates and how you can register for financial aid. After a student registers and begins class, the professor further socializes the students by welcoming them, providing their email address or maybe a phone number so that the students can get in touch with the professor if needed, if they have any questions throughout the term about their coursework. After the first week of class, a representative will usually call the student to make sure everything is going okay. Liberty does an excellent job of socializing students into the program. Many helpful online resources can be used and accessed for writing skills, tutoring on a number of subjects, and also a psychology database. Several databases are available to further help the students in their research and their writing skills. Also, online webinars are available via the library, either live or recorded webinars where students can go back and access information that they may need. The program requires that social psychology students and students in psychology, the psychology program, take courses that will prepare them to be successful in their careers. The courses required in social psychology introduce the student to theories on social psychology. They can take these theories and make decisions on how to best socialize employees in the workplace. Also, the research required helps them to know what works best for socialization in the workplace. For example, the program teaches that in order for employees to be successfully socialized and remain with the organization for a longer period of time, they must be adequately trained so that they can feel a part of the organization and not become frustrated. The required research on this topic provides students with information on the basic premises of social psychology theories. These can continuously be used to resolve workplace issues today. Organizations can reduce family work conflict by providing tactics and other benefits that employees can use to navigate life between work and home. Most people in organizations will experience some type of work-life balance issues. It could be with child care, elder care, their mental health, their physical health, doctor visits, and other concerns in their personal lives. Managers and supervisors are likely to be on board if the organization provides a climate of caring for its employees. If senior management makes it known that this is important to the organization in order to keep employees motivated, many managers and supervisors will go along and also show this type of concern to their employees. Benefits offered are job sharing, maybe teleworking for employees, providing services to help find elder care or child care, and also teledoctor visits are just some of the examples of the many examples that organizations can offer to their employees to lessen the stress in their lives. Many employees are seeing the benefit in offering this to their employees. Many employees will stay with an organization for a long period of time because they appreciate the concern that the organization has for their personal well-being. Research has shown also that for the work balance benefits and programs to work successfully, managers and supervisors have to be on board with the program. Just because an organization provides it doesn't always mean that the managers or supervisors will be on board with what the organization is trying to do. If the employee feels that calling in sick or being out for medical reasons or child care issues is going to make it difficult for them at work because their manager or supervisor just doesn't understand, they may not even use the benefits. Therefore, they may leave the organization to work for an organization that they feel supported. It is important that employees and organizations feel that they are evaluated efficiently and fairly. I would develop a goal setting assessment program that would include input from the manager and the employee. The goals would include primary goals. These goals are very specific to the employee's job. And secondary goals, these are extra goals, goals that the employee comes up for themselves and the manager approves of these goals. If the employee has any questions about her goals, or if she wants to add an additional goal, it can be done at this time. This goal setting time would be done at the beginning of the calendar year. The first part of the assessment would consist of goal setting. Goal setting would be done at the beginning of the year, as I said. The ratings would be highly effective, unsatisfactory. It would need to be clearly explained to the employees so that they understand what encompasses each rating. For example, what the employee could do to get a rating of highly effective, they need to know exactly what can be done so that they can attain this goal. How can they avoid getting an unsatisfactory rating? That needs to be clearly stated. The manager would meet with the employee to come up with goals that pertain to the employee's position. Those are the primary goals. The goals would need to be measurable and attainable. Measurable so that the goal is objective and evaluation is clear. Attainable meaning that the goal is not so high that the employee has a difficult time achieving it. The primary goals would have to be created by the manager so that she can make sure that the job will be done as required. An example of this would be a goal for a finance analyst. Maybe would be to complete the monthly forecast by the 10th of every month. This goal is measurable and attainable. The second part of the assessment could be the secondary goals that the employee comes up for herself. For example, she may say, I want to take 3 courses towards my goal of becoming a certified financial analyst. That goal is also measurable and attainable. The third part of the assessment would be on behaviors in the workplace. Managers should provide more than just yes or no answers to these types of questions or this assessment. Managers should fully explain how the specific behavior of an employee under each category should explain the specific behavior under each category and how it will be evaluated. For example, there will be ratings for highly effective, needs improvement, or unsatisfactory. Is the employee a team player? The manager would need to explain what consists of a team player? Do they assist others in the department where needed? That could be under team player. Does the employee respect others? How does the employee demonstrate support of the company's goals? The final part of the assessment would address the employee's specific career goals. The employee would explain what their career aspirations are. The manager works with the employee throughout the year to help them get closer to achieving that goal. The goal may take longer than a year, but the manager and the employee should work together to come closer to that goal. The manager should be in full support of that employee. The goal will be assessed by reviewing the steps throughout the year that have been taken toward the career goal. Peters et O'Connor defined organizational constraints as traits of the workplace that cause interruptions in the operational flow. Some possible causes of organizational constraints, or rather, some organizational constraints are an environment that lets bad behavior go unchecked. This negative behavior can become the norm of the organization. And some employees may engage in this counterproductive behavior as well, because the organization has a climate of accepting counterproductive negative behavior. An example of this would be a manager of a department gossiping to one of his employees about another employee. This type of behavior can lead to everyone else in the department thinking that it's okay to gossip because the manager's doing it. Stress in the workplace can also cause counterproductive work behaviors. Too much bad stress can result in employees becoming angry, depressed, anxious, and detached from their work. Another form of counterproductive behavior is social isolation toward another employee. For example, employees can spread rumors about another employee, which can result in an individual being excluded from social relationships at work. Research has found that when the isolated employee is not sure why they're being excluded, they can react negatively compared to if they were aware of the reason for being treated unfairly. When employees feel that they are being treated unfairly, they may feel like acting out in a way that is counterproductive to the workplace. Feelings of unfairness can lead to some employees to steal, destroy property, take excessive sick days, feel less motivated toward their work, and refrain from even doing their job duties properly. Spectra's model of the impact of locus and control says that constraints in the organization result in one feeling frustrated. People that have an external locus of control feel as though there's nothing that they can do about what's happening to them. So they feel frustrated. They feel that external forces control their destiny or what happens to them. These employees may react negatively because they feel like they have no control of what's going on. On the other hand, employees with an internal locus of control react more constructively. They feel that they can change. They have the ability to change the negative environment. For example, they may participate in the yearly organizational survey, and they may feel like if I voice my frustrations or if I provide input on how to improve the work environment, I am doing something to help to maybe change the environment for the better.